All right. Hello and welcome, guys, to the Western Hopium Den. Almost to the Northern Hopium Den. Episode number 13. And we got a little bit to talk about today. We have the LCS winners in FlyQuest and a little bit of drama popping off in the scene thanks to a certain top laner who will be named shortly. But I am Sable, joined as always by Mr. Halfling. How are you doing today, Halfling?
I've been doing good. A little pissed that I got like teased up in the north here that we had like a good week of like 60s as the high. It felt awesome. Could keep the window open 24/7. Didn't have to pay for AC at all. Teased. It's back to 80s. It's hot as fuck again. But making it. It's the west. It's not the north anymore. So
Yes.
can't be too cold. Can't be too cold anymore.
Absolutely.
I mean, holy shit, you talked about someone that said a little too much. Fucking, I mean, it's his name right away, Whippo, man. He's gotta learn to keep his mouth shut. This guy, someone's got to take streaming rights away from this guy, change his stream key or something, because like, oh my god, you are a lot more versed in the situation. I missed the stream and I missed like the original post on Twitter. I was at class at the time, and by the time like I got out and saw everyone like making fun of him on Twitter, he had deleted everything. So it was just
Yep.
I don't quite know what happened.
Well, this okay. So the stream clip actually started off like kind of weirdly positively. We were like, it's kind of like he had me in the first half, not gonna lie, type situation. Because like he starts off the clip saying there really needs to be more done for like women in esports to like facilitate them and like help them and stuff. But the reasoning why he goes on into that is absolute dog shit. And thanks, Joe, for the audio. We made sure to fix that in this one at the start.
Yeah.
But the reasoning was terrible. He's like, yeah, there should really be more done for women in esports, blah, blah, not enough to support them, etc. But then, like, his reasoning is because, when they have their periods, like, they can't possibly compete or, like, do the same things as men in the space. And it's like,
That's the quote.
it's like, you're good on the first part. Like, you're right. There should be more done in the space. Obviously, it's a male-dominated space. And, there's reasons for that. Men tend to be ones that play video games more. A lot of that is due to the fact that, gamers are obviously the majority of the population is going to be men. And, the way the male brain works, men are more like biologically, like you have like the fine motor skill thing, like the visual spatial stuff is way more towards the male brain side, whereas females have more of the strength and like the being more intuitive and like smarter socially and whatnot. That's why men are more likely to be autistic, as evidenced by the Whippo quip, I guess some might say. But
I think even like there's even like asterisks in what you said there, where it's like, oh, men play video games more, and it's not even like men play video games more. There's even like the extra asterisk of it's just competitive.
Yeah.
More guys play like the multiplayer competitive games just because like it's kind of in your nature. You're kind of taught and grow up being like it's you against them. You gotta compete constantly, and it's like, yeah, and that lasts forever for some people. Some people can never break away from playing competitive games, and they maybe play them a little too much. But dude, Whippo,
Yeah, but so the thing with the Whippo
not
take
something.
is that is like so there was a little bit of drama going on before that. Like before he popped off with this wild ass statement, which a lot of people I think are taking a little too far with implications of implying he's like this crazy sexist person or like this huge misogynist or whatever. When I think he's just, I'm going to agree with the Dom take on this, which I think he is just like uneducated and like it was just a stupid thing to say. It's like it didn't seem like a malicious thing, especially because he started the clip off saying like there needs to be more done for women in esports, which is true, but then like his reasoning behind it was just dog shit and was like coming from a place of like complete ignorance. And I thought it was charitable of Dom on his stream to go on and be like, I don't think Whippo was like being malicious about this, which I think is really charitable when Dom is someone that had said that he thinks Whippo in other contexts is malicious with other things like towards him. He obviously doesn't like the guy. There's the whole beef with Dokla that we can get into where like. And I think a lot of people are like taking this comment that Whippo said that was like obviously really stupid and like wrong to say, and then also saying that like his trash talk and all this other stuff that was happening with Dokla also is bad. which I would disagree with. I think that kind of stuff is actually good for the scene, and good that like you want the players to be like flaming each other and like having actual drama and beef because it's an entertainment product.
There needs to be something outside of the actual like on-stage product to make stuff interesting, because the on-stage product isn't good enough. That's like a specific NA issue where it's not like we're competing for the next Worlds title. It's not like we're not even close to trying to do that. We're not competing for anything more than like, oh my god, we act like we won Worlds if FlyQuest somehow makes it to semifinals this year, right? And we're gonna do that, and we're gonna treat it as such, and we're gonna say they took Team X to Game 5. We do that all the time. So,
I can't handle any more
so
of that.
we need something else, and kind of drama and tea between players really does fuel that. But this is not between the specific WIPO statement isn't between him and like any specific player. It is just on education, but the fact that this man in 1 week has just made nearly the entire NA scene hate him is actual pure talent.
This is pretty crazy. It's a generational run, as Jojo said.
This is a new any percent speedrun for like community hate at this point, and then on top of that, not 24 or even like 12 hours after the initial statement, FlyQuest comes out with their own response, and they're like, they immediately are like, what was said was completely uneducated, and he shouldn't have said that, and as such, what's their punishment? They suspend him for 1 series.
I mean, I will say that the Monte Cristo tweet, I think I said it to you, was hilarious, where I was like, FlyQuest, WIPO, please go play in this optional tournament that is part of sports washing for the Saudi Arabian regime that puts women in prison and kills them for protesting for equal rights. Also, FlyQuest, after WIPO says like a comment about women other periods, you will be fined 1 game. Like
one game salary and not able to play it.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a, and it's kind of thought it was funny. Like on the newest Dive episode, you had Azael and Meteos and like Kobe sitting there talking about like the comment, oh, it's so sexist and dangerous and damaging to women. Meanwhile, like Meteos literally worked on the EWC, and like these guys will come out immediately virtue signaling with the Twitter stuff about a comment like this, but they'll be completely silent on the issue of sports washing from a tyrannical regime that suppresses women's rights. So it's a little weird to me that like we'll have that kind of double standard in the space where people will accept, like, it's like that meme. It's like I'm okay with like genocide, but I draw the line at being mean or whatever. Like it's like, what kind of standard are we really having here? Which I agree with people saying that the comment's bad, but like the messenger also matters a lot for this kind of stuff, and you can't just like be completely silent about something that's a million times worse, but then like want to go out and virtue signal because it's the hot button issue, which is something that I personally have a problem with. I think if you're gonna just like shut the fuck up and just cast League of Legends, like a lot of the LCK guys do, it's like, don't like have that attitude when it's like human rights abuses, but then when there's like someone that said something stupid on like their Twitch stream, then you're gonna come out and be like all up in arms about it. But it is what it is. I get people are gonna comment on their league, but for me, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way, personally.
It's just a bad thing. I think people have been not suspended for worse 100%. So personally, I would have wished that the suspension was a little bit more. There are people talking about like, oh, he should take like corrective classes. Like he 100% knew literally the second either he hit stop stream or literally that left his mouth that was just a stupid thing to say. And since it's WIPO, he just doubles down on literally everything that comes out of his mouth anyway. So he's gonna dig the hole as deep as he ever can. He did apologize for it though.
He made a statement and apologized for it.
He made a statement to apologize, and of course LS was meat riding and saying like something. I didn't even read it. I saw he posted like a big long message, and I'm like, I ain't reading all that, buddy. I'm sorry.
He said that he thought what WIPO did was wrong and like really bad.
Yeah.
And, like.
Oh, perfect. So he did defend him this time. I don't know. I'm so used to LS defending WIPO for terrible takes that I'm like, he probably just defended the statement for some bullshit reason. But thank God he picked the right choice this time.
Yeah, he'll defend Cadril for working at EWC, but again, like when this happens, it's like we're gonna
without saying
it's the worst.
He's just wanting to get his bag. He doesn't want to say he just wants to get his bag. Just say that. Just say you want more money when you have too much already. It's okay, man.
Yeah,
it's perfectly fine. But moving like for the half second into Whippo hating Dokla into finals. A little bit
Yeah,
LCS
dude,
LTA LCS finals was
the fist bump, like the walk by, like Dokla was cold as
I
hell.
mean, that's the
Like that
start.
was such a badass like gif of like
Yeah.
him just walking by. He just like just doesn't even look at him. He doesn't even like grace
Yeah.
him with like a look. Like he just walks straight by him, and then proceeds to honestly like we could talk. Let's talk about we could talk about the finals now about the FlyQuest
You did a
100 Thieves
you did a good
series. Yeah, I was gonna say like I thought that like in game one. I thought that Bwipo was getting bodied pretty much the entire game. He was in the Mbessa versus Rumble. He was losing trades in lane. He was like misplaying a lot of the laning phase. He had some nice plays in the team fights later on, but I think a lot of that more so came down to like his team, you know, setting him up and playing well, and also like freaking 100 Thieves like completely running it down in that game. Like there was a point in that game like outside of, I think it was the Otacon fight where Bwipo had a really good play in the Mbessa, and I think that kind of started to turn the match for them. And you know, FlyQuest found a really good angle, and dude, the point that pissed me off the most about this game, and I don't know how closely you watch the finals. I'm assuming you watch them, all the games pretty closely, but in the first game with Ayla on the Nico. Right before they end the game, he like throws the entire game solo, in my opinion, because he is just by himself on the Nico, trying to like one man Nico ult Masu. He doesn't have flash, by the way. So one man tries to engage onto Masu, and the rest of like he hits him with the Nico ultimate, I think, but there's nobody even close enough on 100 Thieves to follow up and kill Masu. So Masu's just completely fine. He pops the barrier, but he's still like fine. Rivers Jarvan's not close enough to follow up. Nobody's close enough to follow up, and Jarvan gets in at the end. But by the time he gets there, the entire team of FlyQuest rather is there to peel for Masu, and then they just lose the game and die. And it just felt really bad that like Ayla is just going to be selling the game at that point, trying to find a one man Nico ultimate onto Masu with nobody on his team around and having no flash. Like, and the Yunara that he's going on, Masu's Yunara has full sums, so it's like. After that point, immediately when the Nico ultimate is burnt by Ayla, the rest of FlyQuest immediately just claps onto FBI's Smolder, which was like doing really good in that game. He was ahead, I think, for a lot of the game, and he was like had full stacks and everything. He's like, I think 3 or 4 items at that point. And the second the Nico ultimate's burnt by Ayla, just inting for a one man Nico ultimate, the rest of his team gets claps on and dies. There's no peel for the Smolder, and then they lose the game.
Onto all champions. Than Yunara, the current AD carry that's impossible to shut down and stop, and is pretty tanky up until just after this match. I don't get that either. I pulled up it specifically, so like my big thing with finals is since 2017 summer, I have watched every single LCS finals live. No matter what I've got that day, no matter what I'm doing, I've watched it live. Even if I haven't paid attention, I have to watch it again later to like pay attention proper. This is the first time I've just not clocked in. I skipped it entirely. I watched it. I didn't even hit the VOD. I only watched a ghost stream.
Oh shit! Okay.
Anything. Like it was. This is my interest in like North American League of Legends, because I started paying a little more attention to LPL. I kind of went back to my LPL has been calling me. I've been missing it for the last year and a half.
It's so good.
Because that was my first region that I really started watching every game for. Crazy region to start off with, but you know it takes a special kind of stupid to play this game too. But I didn't pay attention to it enough, and I of course caught that end game play, and I found it again on the VOD. It's like there's no reason that he should be going for this at all. No one else is close to Ayla. He is 1.5 items at 36 minutes into this game. He's got Hextech Rocket Belt, a unused Seekers, Ionian Lucidity, and Oblivion Orb.
And the support item.
And the support item, the tank support item, Celestial Opposition. So not any of the damage ones. There's just no purpose. It also goes to show how stupid it is to just spam 2 control words every single reset. Getting stuck on 1.5 items at 36 minutes, that shouldn't happen on support.
Yeah.
But there's no one close by. He 100% kills FBI by going for this play.
Completely briefed.
They pop all the shields for Masu. Masu doesn't even pop his own barrier on the initial engage. And you know how much damage they did? Take a guess.
200.
Close. They did about 400 after everything. This included like an FBIW. This was full Ayla combo and an FBI.
I think the Smolder ult tagged him a little bit as well because he threw that around on top of the Nico ult.
Yeah,
it only got the side, didn't even get the center part.
Yeah, it didn't get the center part. So
yeah,
it didn't know the Nico clone to hide the ultimate took more damage than Masu from Lucio. So
it was horrible.
It was just a horrible play all around. There was no purpose to go for this. 100 Thieves are up right now. They're just weathering the current push right now and kind of waiting for waves to push out. I don't know why they went for this. I guess they just kind of wanted to get out quickly, but that's where I kind of feel bad for Dokla. Dokla was coming off... Quid was coming off reset. Dokla was answering bot lane.
Yeah, and he TP'd late as well. Like, the TP from the Victor was, like, instant when that happened, and then because he was already halfway across the map by the time the engage was, like, halfway started.
They were ready.
Dokla was
Fly
not.
wanted this.
They did.
It's just a thing that they're so good at is...
They're decisive.
If they're super decisive, they don't really have to communicate how to look for a fight. They're just like, hey, I'm walking through for a fight. If you hear us start fighting, just TP. We'll win it. We know we're going to win it, and if we don't win it, we'll talk about that later. And that's like one of the hardest things you have to really do in League is getting a team to trust you that heavily. Once you get to that point, it's smooth sailing from there. Then you can start focusing on everything else. And FlyQuest is there, which is why I think they're just the best team in NA. And they showed it throughout this entire series. We'll kind of break that down a little bit. Aside from Ayla inting, I mean, it's another game where something that I mentioned to you in pregame is the West is a two-team region in its entirety.
Honestly,
FlyQuest
I think it's a one-team region now. Oh, you mean the West? Okay, so G2 FlyQuest.
Yeah, the West. G2 FlyQuest. Both of these teams specifically because they actually have plans past 15 minutes. And I think Game 1 is a big example of that, where FlyQuest have this overall game plan of, we don't need to do anything. We've got Victor, we've got Mbessa, we've got Yanara. Our insurance is secured. We just have to wait for a late game team fight. So seed the first two objectives. They lost first blood, and that kind of counts. They lost first dragon, and then literally at 15 minutes for second dragon. They're there. They continue going. They look so clean while doing it. It was a little bit of a mid-diff in terms of damage and kind of what I saw from Quid personally, but like...
That Quid was good.
Dude, Quid's so fucking good. It's so sad he's stuck on 100 Thieves.
Dude, and in the second game, Quid was like 1v9. He was on the Aurora. He was absolutely popping off. And they won the second game. And like when I saw when I see like Bwipo lock in the Scion into like a Vi Aurora draft with Senna Eddie carry, I'm like, dude, there's absolutely no way that FlyQuest can lose this, because like how do they kill the Scion? But then Quid just Doctor Stranged it and found a way to win the game. And honestly, I was surprised they won, because like River on the Vi was completely sprinting it. Like for most of the early game, he was like 0-3 at one point. Like his first death was egregious in the Dragon Pit. It was around like 6 minutes. He sees 4 enemy champions: Jin Zhao, Scion, Talia, and Alistar, like all in the river around him, and he queues into the Dragon Pit. It's pretty much just guaranteeing that he has nowhere to go and just has to die, and he just instantly dies, and then they get Dragon, and it's like, we can't be making these kinds of plays if we want to like play internationally. And he started the game like 0-3 at 18 minutes, but then he ended up at the end of the game, he was like 3k gold ahead, and had a positive KDA. And honestly, like the Dokla Asante this game was extremely good. Like he was outplaying Bwipo on the Scion like left and right. I actually didn't really like FlyQuest draft in this game. They went for the Poke Varus, which is nerfed. And they had like no damage in my opinion, because they had a Talia and a Poke Varus as their only carries, and then their other champs were Scion, Jin Zhao, and Alistar. So it's like, how are we expecting to deal like actual DPS in teamfights if our 2 damage dealers are Talia and Poke Varus? Like those are just like, you have one like basically single target combo pretty much, and then you have a Scion and Jin Zhao and Alistar, and it's like the other side was Cassante, Vi, Aurora, Senna, and Bard. Which is like, that's not a super, super high damage composition, but at least the Aurora can like get multiple rotations of her combo off. Her ultimate hits the entire team. She just does more damage than Talia, and then you have Cassante, who also does damage as a tank. And then the Vi as well, obviously. Just the point and click is a little easier if you're going to be all-in on people with the Aurora to pair that up. So, but
the big thing about like the Aurora Senna burst versus Talia Varus is Aurora Senna don't have to do anything to get their burst. They just press the buttons and it happens.
Right.
Varus, you have to land the ultimate to get the stacks, or you have to stack up in order for Poke Varus to do damage. For Talia, you really do have to land the entirety of the combo for that burst to really actually be burst damage. And whereas FBI and Quid on the Senna Aurora respectively, they don't have to do anything. Just let people walk into them. Damage will slowly start stacking up, rotate your spells, and I don't know, just you hit QQ on Aurora, QQE, and or QEQ, and they're fucking dead, bro. There's no question at what's going to happen when Aurora presses these abilities, and the ult is just so easy to use to spread damage. It's literally, it's just an always up empowered Ace ultimate, with the extra bonus that you can teleport around team fights because it's a new champion. So, it's the one game that looked really good from 100 Thieves. It's another time where they got first dragon too, so they've got a really good setup around bot side for this first dragon. But man, they really do just kind of stink at mid game plays. They lost all the objectives. They lost first tower up until Otacon. They really they didn't struggle on the map at all. It's just like you could tell their really main focus was gold, and even then they weren't really getting that big of an advantage because Flykos wasn't spending too much time going for these objectives. They weren't overcommitting. They understood, hey, if 100 Thieves doesn't want to really contest us, we don't have to send the house. And I think it's a really good skill to have. And for 100 Thieves, if you try and do this against a better team, especially if you try and do this against like a G2, or you try and do this against, God, literally name an LPL team, they'll probably end up having to play against IG at some point. You know, fingers crossed, knock on wood.
We can hope.
But if you have to play against any of these other teams, even like KT, which is like a very obvious 4th seed from LCK, dude, you're done. You don't get away with this.
Fear X. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fear X look good, but like these even like 3rd and 4th seed teams from the eastern regions, they're just gonna wreck you if they get 3 objectives in a row. If they get guaranteed access to Feet to Warfare, they're gonna run with that because they're better laners than you. Like
1000%.
BDD obviously, but like, fuck, what's it? I called him out. I was so happy. The Fear X 80 carry. He won Rookie of the Split. Diablo. He's gonna walk over FBI and Ayla. Like there's
he's just
no
a killer.
question asked.
He's
just a killer. So
he's
it's
one of those young gun LCK 80 cards that's coming up. But
we'll see him on TSM next year.
We'll see him on TSM next year. Yeah, we can hope. Just to finish out the FlyQuest 100 Thieves series, in that 3rd game, that was probably the most one-sided game of the entire series. Like FlyQuest just completely dumpstered them, and like I thought a lot of that was due to 100 Thieves draft. They picked a Jhin into an already face-up Aatrox Sejuani, so it's like, how are we expecting Jhin to find value when they already have the tankiest jungler aside from maybe Skarner on the patch, and the Aatrox just to walk at the Jhin? Like Jhin can't set up versus an Aatrox and Sejuani, and like you have the
succeed. You're not going to succeed.
Yeah, no, and you have the Ayla's on the Karma, so he's not like peeling. You know, it's a decent like poke lane, but they're even getting like bodied in the 2v2 lane as well. And dude, the worst part of this game, like I felt so bad for Dokla, was Ayla again running it down on their top lane dive into BWIPO's Aatrox. It's like he tries to start the dive off with the Karma on the tower, and I think he takes a tower shot, and then he backs off and tries to go back in, but BWIPO is just comboing him with the Aatrox, so Ayla tries to flash out because he thinks he's going to die, but he flashes out with the Aatrox chains on him and just gets pulled back in immediately and dies. It is like one of the worst dive plays. It was a 3v1, and he just solo loses the game for Dokla. Like after that, BWIPO was up 10, 20, then 30, and 40 CS. He's on the Aatrox, so he's obviously a snowballing champion. And I think Dokla was on what was Dokal on against him on Jax? Yeah, and it's like impossible. Yeah, it's impossible for Dokal to play the game.
They countered themselves so much. In solo queue, I unironically, when I was learning how to play Karma and like other pro champions, I was watching Ayla because he was really good at them in solo queue. But like on stage, this guy is 100% like a Rel and Bard merchant.
Oh yeah,
Bard is kind of like you can get away with bullshit like this all the time because it's Bard, but like he's a Rel merchant through and through. His Nautilus is okay too, but like everything else, yeah, he's got to be on engage. And dude, you cannot be picking Nefiri Jax and expect that to be your primary engage.
Nefiri, bro, Nefiri into like a Sejuani, even just like by itself. It's like
Cass, Braum.
Yeah.
What are we?
They picked Nefiri. They picked Nefiri on 3. So it's like, but I don't even like that because like when you want to pick a champion like Nefiri, like a jungle assassin on 2, well even worse, you want to pick a champion like Nefiri when you already have like 3+ viable targets, and it's like we pick it when we don't really even see one viable target, and we're gonna just pick it just straight up. Yeah, we're gonna pick it, and then they just play around it because they pick Lucian Braum. Nefiri can never jump onto a Lucian Braum. She gets stunned immediately. Like you're not one-shotting the Braum, you're not one-shotting the Sejuani, you're not one-shotting the Aatrox.
Can't get on top of Lucian.
Yeah, and the other champion is Cassiopeia. Can you get on top of Cassiopeia? No, because she presses W.
She wants you there.
Yeah, she literally wants you on top of her.
So like, it's just a bad draft from 100 Thieves. 100%. I don't know what they were thinking at all, other than it's another one of those like we kind of want to go home moments from 100 Thieves.
That was game 4 when they picked Lee Sin mid.
Yeah, I mean, even worse. On top of that, Quid looked awesome on the Lee Sin, but it's Lee Sin mid. I don't think he even
looked that good. He ran it down in the first 4 minutes.
Okay,
he literally died for first blood in the first 4 minutes. Yeah. He got like he had one good kick.
Mid,
well, yeah, exactly. Don't pick Lee Sin mid. Like I don't understand why these players are picking these types of champions. And we can talk a little bit about that meta after this, but like it's just so crazy to me that like people will just lock in champions that aren't good in certain scenarios when they have full control over, like there's so much face up, like you can pick so many different champions and you opt to go for a champion that literally just makes your game state harder for no reason other than like ego, or like you think that you're doing some like 5-head shit but you're actually just like completely running it. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Is Lee Sin even good into Trundle? Is it like even a viable pick?
Lee Sin in a lane, Lee Sin's barely viable in the jungle right now.
I know, so but like specifically into the is it because they showed Trundle early on, and they had the opportunity to pivot the Lee Sin into jungle. Even like it's bad, but like I don't really understand.
You lose to Trundle anyway.
That much. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just like
all he has to do is hold pillar, and like if he just holds pillar and like you haven't burned it. Yeah, no, it's like, well, Trundle just shits on like pretty much every AD melee jungle champion unless you have some like crazy terrain scaling, which Lee Sin technically has the ward hop, but like
that's conditional.
You're just running away from Trundle then at that point, so it's like you can't like go duel him, you can't really invade him that effectively. Your clear is also slower than his, so you're going to be behind on tempo the entire game by a lot, and it's less healthy, so it's like and then we're just going to put it mid lane and just run the entire game down.
So it's not even like a proper fake flex at this point. You just troll there by picking Lee Sin, other than I want to play Lee Sin mid right now in our last game in NA.
Apparently he plays it in scrims. He's like a scrim merchant on Lee Sin. It's like Inspired said it was like kind of good.
Scrim.
Yeah,
that's exactly. Scrims. Who cares? Who cares?
It's so corny. I just hate it.
Apparently, Viper was looking phenomenal on the Riven and Scrims too when he played top lane. Crazy. Who would have thought the Viper, the Riven one trick?
When I was on AD carry and still picking Riven, by the way.
Like, and still picking Riven, exactly. But it's I didn't get it. Late game, it looked fine. It looked like a Lee Sin in team fights, so whatever. I was kind of, by the end of the game, it was like, okay, yeah, you look pretty good at it, but like it doesn't matter. Your team's already behind because you picked this champion.
Yeah, I mean, and FlyQuest was dominant. Like Inspired had a monster game on the Trundle.
Yes.
He finished like 10-1 and 12 or something like that, I think.
11, 1 and 8.
11, 1 and 8. Yeah.
Master went 10-4 and 11 on Misfortune.
Dude, and like they might have won that game, but like Bwipo looked horrible on the Gragas. Like Bwipo looked like that clip. that clip of like Kadriel watching the Shy play Gragas where he just body slams into the wall and doesn't get over the wall, then misses his ultimate, and then he's like, "This is how Gragas
walks
played."
away.
That's literally what BWIPO looked like on that Gragas board. The amount of times I saw him just straight up miss like an E into like ult combo, have a bad ultimate, just randomly die just in the side lane. Like he just looked like the Gragas is obviously really annoying like in the laning matchup, but he didn't make the Gragas look good at all. Like he looked like he got straight up carried in that fourth game. Like, and you know, I think Dokla overall had a better series than BWIPO, aside from like the game number 3, where I think that BWIPO obviously got a big advantage because Ayla decided to gift him the game by inting to him on the tower dive. I wouldn't necessarily say that BWIPO was like way better than Dokla, and you know, I think it was a little bit interchangeable with their performances, and I think if Dokla was on that FlyQuest team, he maybe looks even better.
He's just a product of having the better teammates in the game. Just like, if you look through, like, you're talking about the Gragas game, and I agree, it was not very good. But it's one of those situations where BWIPO just picks this, runs the full AP because he can get away with it. Because Gragas, A, is so tanky, and B, the way BWIPO plays Gragas is like this flank-heavy champion for some reason. He plays this, like, in top lane, a front lane tank as a pseudo-assassin, I guess. Yeah. And he got away with it this game 100%. He even outdamaged Dokla, but it looks so fake. There's a reason you don't see him play this champion internationally in this way. There's a reason you don't see him like do really that well either. He did this, I think it was last split finals against C9. It was game 4, game 5 again. They picked this Gragas. He did this exact build. He did this exact playstyle. He just played like the super flank heavy, and it ended up working out. But holy shit, the good C9 roster was like one cataclysm from J4 because Blabber's and Inter away from winning the series because they had no top laner. And it happened again, but this time there was so much leeway. There was so much of a player gap on the rest of the map that
a draft gap.
A draft gap and a player gap were on the rest of the map. That just didn't matter. I will confidently say, aside from Quid, the entirety of FlyQuest played better. Yeah, BWIPO as well, but like Quid and BWIPO, or Quad and BWIPO kind of, I wouldn't say get carried by Inspired. It's like those players are needed. Maybe you could swap out Quid for Quad. That would be a hilarious trade to happen.
I think they're pretty interchangeable. I think Busio obviously gaps Ayla. You're absolutely right. Like
Busio's needed. I think Masu's also needed for this roster. I think they need to carry like Masu.
I think they could have Yun and be just as good or better.
But 80 carries like that. You can kind of slot in anyone as long as they're able to communicate. I just think Masu Busio's figured their shit out. They very much exist for each other at this point, so I don't think there's a reason to break them up.
Yeah,
a la Sven and Mithy. It took how many years did it take Sven to really return back to his like career highs that he had on G2 with Mithy? It took years. And OG, right? It took forever for him to get back there. So I don't think there's really a reason to split up this bot lane. But
no, not at all.
The FlyQuest team, I mean, they did look better. Their drafts were better. Their gameplay looked better. They're 100% like 1 or 2 in the West. And LTA Finals kind of a letdown, to be honest. Even watching the condensed 55, 60-minute co-stream of it, I was like, man, I really could have just been.
This could have been an email. It could have been an email.
Could have been an email. It's like 100 Thieves got away with it one game, and FlyQuest closed up shop afterwards.
Yeah, LCS is just a one-team region at this point with the Cloud9 fall off, and the Team Liquid fall off, honestly. But yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the drafts in these games and how there's some subpar picks, especially the Lee Sin mid. Are there any other picks you're seeing kind of across the West right now, or just in League of Legends that are picked a lot but you don't really like, or that you think are kind of bait picks, or that are bad in the meta, or maybe good in the meta? Like,
let me see like what's played the most right now.
All right, well, you're looking. I'll start us off because I have one that
you got one.
I really hate to see, and we see it so much, especially in the LEC. This champion has a 40% presence in the LEC, but only a 30% win rate. And every time I see it, even when it gets a gold lead, it just looks horrible. And that champion is Jace. Like, I am so tired of seeing Western Jaces. Like, I don't care even if it's Kana. Obviously, he's Korean. He's picking the Jace in these top lane matchups where, like someone has to tell these top laners, man, like, it doesn't matter. Like, Jace is like a version of, like, how top laners think about Nidalee. Where it's like, yes, you can pick Nidalee and you can win the lane because you're a ranged champion that can harass and, like, also has, like, a transform and, like, you're hard to gank or whatever. But, like, the entirety of your gold lead is, like, put inside of trying to do long range, like, semi-hard to land poke. Obviously, Nidalee's poke is harder to land than Jace's. But, like, you just see this champion and it can, like, you end lane with, like, a 10 or 20 CS lead, and then if the enemy champion is more useful, then you just lose the game anyway. And it's, like, it just looks so useless. Like, I don't know why it has so much presence, like, in the West, specifically in the LEC. Like, the LCS doesn't pick this, by the way. We picked it once, I believe, and we lost. So, yeah. We had, like, one Jace pick, and it was an L. LEC, they're the fourth
we don't
most...
fall for it.
Dude, LEC has the fourth most Jace games out of any region, including, like, all, like, the minor leagues and stuff, like dozens of regions, and LEC is fourth most Jace games with 10 and only a 30% win rate. And it honestly is horrible. Like, I even see people like 369, like Breathe, The Shy playing this and just looking, like, useless just because I don't think the champion is good. And I'm tired of, like, top laners just, like, being ego about it and being like, oh, but I can win the lane. It's like, yeah, but then you lose the fucking game. I don't think it's worth. And, like,
what are you going to do with 600 gold lead?
Yeah, exactly. Or even, like, in Cana's case in LEC, like, he had, like, a 2,000 or 3,000 gold lead, and you couldn't tell because the champion sucks. Like, there's a reason that Zeus isn't picking Jace, the best top laner in the world. Doesn't pick Jace. Keen on Gen G isn't picking Jace. Like, he has one Jace game, I think, this season. That's it. Like, that's my, like, most annoying pick that I see in the meta. Like, when I see, like, a Western team, or honestly any team, lock this champion in, it just seems so useless. Because it's so easy to block the poke with, like, tank supports, and, like, tanky-ish jungles are good right now. So you can just stand in front of your carries, and Jace poke is just never good. Even with an item lead, so.
Trying to figure out, making sure I got the right point before I start complaining. Okay. The big thing that I really want to see teams not pick up anymore, specifically, bad teams. Any team that is below 500 should never, ever be playing Celia. ever. It's such a good pick. It's really good if you're an over 500 team. If you've got a good mid laner, if you've got a good jungler that you can enable, right? If you're Quid and River, 100% you can get away with that shit. But if you're Dark Wings and XU, stick to something else, little bro. Play Annie or something.
Put the Sejuani in the bag. Put the Sejuani Annie in the bag.
Put the Sejuani Annie, or well, actually, Darkwings isn't bad. So you at Yone even, so you can put the Sejuani Yone in the bag, really. But that's like, and even then, that's like such a specific one. The big thing I really do need to see teams not play anymore is, honestly, just Nautilus. This champion's so bad. Yeah, he's not good. He's very much enabled by AD carries at this point, and any support that's enabled by AD carries to me just sucks. Yes, you've got depth charge. You've got a point-and-click ultimate to guarantee lane on someone. You know who else has that? Leona.
But Leona's ultimate's not point-and-click.
No, but it's basically point-and-click. Don't be bad.
I mean, my counterpoint to that would be, like, I think it's really good. Like, you're enabled by the enemy AD carry, kind of. Like, because if they pick something like the Zeri or the Smolder or Jinx or something, it's like, you pick Nautilus, it's just free.
Speaking of Sejuani in the bag, you know what it is? Fuck it, Skarner, bro. Get this champion.
Yeah.
No one should be playing Skarner ever. I think Contracts played it during the Shopify series, if I'm not mistaken.
Blabber played it as well. It looked terrible.
Blabber played it too. Blabber was the one I was thinking of. It happened in the Shopify Cloud9 series. Skarner, it's such a shit champion. The whole reason you picked it when he was OP was because he had this, like, ungodly clear speed for a tank, and he could just so easily gank through the walls. Now he's got the ganks, but he doesn't have damage on champions. All that comes from his passive, and that's DOT. So it's just bad. The ults can get flash. It's such an obvious flash, dude. Golds can do it. I expect all the JV gold players.
Golds.
the disgusting gold. I expect literally every gold player to be flashing this ability if their flash is up, or doing some sort of dash because it's so long. It's such a long activation. I don't understand why.
The best thing is when you see like a Skarner 30 minutes with like 0 Heartsteel stacks, and it's like nice.
Yeah, or like that's another bad part of about the meta is like HP stackers and jungler building the wrong items. That's the big thing, is when they're buying that Heartsteel. When your Sejuani's, your Skarners, what's the other big tank? There's one more big tank jungler. I can't remember their name. Like Zac should be picked more, to be honest, but
it's isn't it just like Maokai? Like, but I think Maokai's good.
Yeah, Maokai doesn't go Heartsteel, and he's good.
Yeah.
So it's like specifically the Sejuani and the Skarners buying Heartsteel, and I'll see so much. We cross 25 minutes, and I check in, and it's like he got 80 stacks, which is like they've stacked it 3 times.
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
What the fuck is the point of buying this item? You're not getting anything out of it.
I like seeing base junglers build like Redemption and Locket. Like I think when I don't see supports build Redemption and Locket, the jungler should be buying those. If like the support's
Redemption,
not
Locket,
them.
Knight's Vow.
Yeah.
You get those 3 items, you clock it in faster than Heartsteel plus Sunfire Cape. You provide so much more to the team.
If you're a tanky or support jungler. Like if you're an AD jungler, you need the Sundered Sky.
Yeah, but please buy Sundered Sky if you're an AD jungler. But like if you're, I don't know, if you're J4 even, and like you fuck up your first 2 ganks, buy those items. Put the fucking HP in the bag, bro. Don't buy Sundered Sky or Eclipse.
You still need Sundered Sky on J4.
I don't even. I think you could get away with going full tank J4 still.
I mean, you probably can, but
you can. You could 100% can, because at that point you don't exist for. It's the same thing with like Nocturne, where like if Nocturne gets behind, he's still got to buy AD, but like holy shit, you do no damage.
Dude, that's another pick that I'm tired of seeing is the Nocturne. It's like we're just picking the Nocturne just because we have Orianna or Galio. Like, what was that match in the Cloud9 series? I think where they picked like. I think they had the series where they had the Nocturne like Orianna Galio draft. They had Thanatos on Galio, and it just looked like we have a carry top laner, and we're putting all our eggs. Yeah, we're picking Nocturne game 1 also, by the way, which is just fucking dog shit. Like the kind of uses I want to see, I don't want to see of Nocturne is like when we're just going for that one specific like very predictable dive where we're just going to send the Nocturne and everything else onto a carry. AD carries right now are so mobile and so hard to get onto that it's like the amount of times it's going to work is so low. Like do you know what I actually like to see on the Nocturne? Like Mad Lions did this. MCoy rather, not Mad Lions. They did this super well, and like I prefer this version of the Nocturne, where it's you pick a 1-3-1 comp. They had 2 split pushes. I think they had a Rise.
I cut out. What do they go?
They went a 1-3-1 comp. So they had like a Rise in the mid lane, and then another split pusher on the top lane. And then the goal of the Nocturne on that comp is to just pressure the side lanes of the 1-3-1, and they played it perfectly. This was in their series against, I believe it was KC, in their 5-game series. I think they went to. Oh no, it was against Fnatic. And they just played the 1-3-1 with the Nocturne. And it's like, that's where Nocturne, I think, is actually really good right now, is where you can pressure the side lanes and have split pushers and then just have a Nocturne to join if they get, like, ganked, or to, like, even the threat of him joining is enough to play the macro. Yeah. I like it way better than the predictable dive.
Whenever I end up drafting 4 teams, and it's like, oh, I want Nocturne here, what do we do? Go with it? I never let that team do anything more than 3v3 skirmishes, because full-on team fights, it's just bad for Nocturne, because then you're turning this champion that's this phenomenal 1v1 skirmisher, by the way. He's so good at like 1v1 and 2v2s because of the fear, because of the AD steroid, because of the shield. You need to empower that, you need to play for that. But when you're trying to like full-on 5v5 team fight and you turn him into the ball delivery system, it's like, but he can get deep with that, but
so telegraphed.
It's telegraphed nowadays, because everyone can do it at this point. If you're at this level, especially professional, or like anything above diamond, honestly, I expect people to do this just on like 100% consistency. What do you do after that? How do you follow up? Oh, it's supposed to be Galio. Okay, what damage? What damage is coming? You've already Ori ulted.
Yeah. And
the balls goes back to Ori. She can't do any more damage because it passes her. That's the whole point of the interaction. And Cloud9 in this game, they picked Corki, dude.
Yeah,
what?
It was dog shit. I would like it more if they had a Camille top and a Galio mid.
And even then, because they showed Nocturne and Galio so early in that draft, you know what 100 Thieves ended up picking against them to win, and what every team should be doing? No, they picked Ezreal, Akali, Vi.
Oh, it wasn't Xayah. Okay.
They just counter dove and they picked a self-sustaining AD carry. And FBI was like, okay, I'm chilling. First off, built Voltaic. That's the new good Ezreal item.
It's Biss.
It's Biss, and he just went fuck, what's it called? AP. Why can't it Maw? There we go. I was trying to say Muramasa. He went Maw, and he just never died. He's not going to get bursted anymore. So I don't get it. A lot of teams do this. Otherwise, yeah, they go Xayah. You just press alt. Oh, Nocturne hit the lights. I just hit Xayah alt, and I go to my team.
Yep. It's just it's honestly like, even especially if it gets picked in game 1, it's like there's so many like better junglers to pick than Nocturne. Like I get like you just think you're picking a combo, but you have to understand that combo isn't like Freelo like it might have once been. But a champion that I do think is Freelo is Ivern. Like I want to see more teams playing Ivern.
Yes.
Like we saw Razork pick it over in the LEC. It's like
Ivern's
even
so
if you're
good.
down by like thousands of gold, the second you hit level 16 and you get like your 2/3 item spike, your team just never dies. Like you have the permanent refreshing shield, you can put bushes down, Daisy is the most annoying unit in the world to deal with. You have all those support items, you have the Locket, you have the Redemption that we talked about, and they're actually good on Ivern, doesn't have to build tanky. I think that champion just looks like free win whenever I see him picked. It just looks like so hard for enemy team to play the game. But not enough people play him just because he's not fun to play.
I think that with Cho'Gath, specifically top lane. I think that every time I see a team like Whippo was doing this a lot during the start of end of last split, he was just slamming Cho'Gath constantly.
Yeah.
And then for the next 2 months, literally every time anyone both in solo queue and in like lower level comps would pick this like low burst team comp, they just pick Cho'Gath. Any team would just pick Cho'Gath, and you can't do anything anymore. What are you gonna do? How can play? He's too tanky. You can't kill him. He's insane objective assurance because he has the ultimate. He has solo kill pressure as a tank even more than Ornn and Sion because of that ultimate, and he gets more HP. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Cho'Gath is such an undervalued champion, and he's a free. No one's gonna ban if you're banning Cho'Gath. Imagine you're going into game 4 or game 3, game 4, and you're banning Cho'Gath because that's like the tank option for the top laner next. It's like, how troll does that look as a draft? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, unless you have like Yorick and you like really don't want like the maiden to just get devoured instead. But yeah, I agree. Cho'Gath is super busted. You know, I put Sion in that category as well. I think he's a Z tier pick to quote LS.
He's the one that people really respect too. So, because everyone's like, yeah, Sion's OP as a blind. Cho'Gath is literally the number 2 blind tank. The stuff that you have to pick into him in order to counter it, in pro play specifically, no one's playing. Another thing that I think we'll probably be seeing more, especially around the early stages of Swiss and probably by these the LTA Soul teams, is Mordekaiser.
Oh, yeah.
I think,
yeah.
The AD Mordekaiser change doesn't sound like a lot, but the specific thing that it allows you to do is you can build Death Stance on Mordekaiser.
That sounds crazy. That sounds broken.
The big thing is everyone who thinks about building Death Stance, you always have to have Sterix Gauge with it. I need the Sterix Gauge shield in order to survive, right? Because otherwise Death Stance just shreds my HP. I need that shield. The true damage from Death Stance eats through the Sterix Gauge shield. You live forever. Mordekaiser just presses W, does the same thing. And you get the cooldown reduction, and you get the armor, and you get Triumph, second Triumph, on top of killing people, and the AD scaling isn't like terrible. It's a really good thing. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many teams play this because Mordekaiser isn't quite the hardest counter to Sion, which is the premier tank top lane right now. It works, but there are better things, to be honest, that are just prevalent in the meta. Another thing is if any team decides to pick like the full like short range stuff, say a team tries to adapt Nocturne Orianna into like J4 Ori, you can just pick Swain.
Yeah, and we saw Whippo doing that in the top lane even, and I think we saw like a couple mid lane Swains around the world as well.
Spring. I'm checking right now.
I mean, yeah, his Swain looked unkillable. Like when he picked it, it's such a crazy champion. Yeah, especially to those close range teams, like you're saying.
It's just too good.
But
no
yeah, yeah, no one's gonna pick it. I mean, hey, we'll see. We got Worlds coming up here in about a month, couple weeks. till that starts. But before that, we have some teams that still need to qualify. We already have FlyQuest going, obviously, in the LCS South. I'm not even going to say LTA South. Fuck it. The southern team that will be going, I believe, is Vivo Cade Stars. They won, correct?
Yes, Vivo Cade Stars.
So
they're the one.
They're the first seed from LTA South, so they'll be going. They get seeded right into the upper bracket final here in the LCS Cross Conference. They'll be against FlyQuest. You win that matchup, you go straight to the final. Obviously, both of these teams are already going to Worlds. But we have 4 other teams that are now fighting for one spot in the LCS to go to that last World spot. And that is 100 Thieves, Pain Gaming, Red Canids, and Shopify Rebellion. The first match we have coming up here in the lower bracket, round 1, is the 100 Thieves versus Pain. And then it's Red versus Shopify.
As a little aside, neither FlyQuest or Vivo Cade Stars are technically qualified for Worlds yet. However, they only have to win one series.
I thought they were qualified because they said after they won that they were qualified.
They're qualified for the regional championships, so they have to play. So FlyQuest and Vivo Cade Stars play each other, and the winner of that series qualifies for Worlds.
Okay.
The loser of that series goes down to the the game before. Oh no, wait, they are. Are they?
I'm pretty sure that they're qualified.
Okay, so they're
both the first.
They're
seeds.
like qualified, but they don't have their berth yet. This is what it's looking like.
They're qualified as one of the 3 teams, but they're not qualified as like the first seed going from the LCS.
They could both go as low as 3rd, but that would be a ridiculous overperformance from either 100 Thieves, SR, Pain, or Red Canids, which is the last 4 teams that
Do you know anything about Pain? Do you think they have a chance in 100 Thieves in this first matchup that's coming up?
I mean, it would be awesome to see Titan go really far, and Karaoke looked pretty solid when we last saw them, especially in how many months ago was that? 4 months ago? When we last saw the first cross conference, it was forever ago.
Oh yeah, and it was only best of 3s as well. Thankfully, this time it's best of 5s.
All best of 5s.
We're just going straight up with best of 5s, which thank God we're not having any more of the best of 3 BS. But I'm sad that Furia's not going. I was really excited to see them play more. I really liked what I saw from them at MSI. Sadly, they won't be going. They got kind of bounced out with some good performances from the Cade Stars, Canids, and Pain. I believe one of these teams is Trimby's team, no? I think it's the Cade Stars.
Cade Stars.
Trimby from the LEC straight down there to the LTA South and finishing as the first seed, which is pretty cool for him. Love to see that.
And Mirio.
And Mirio, yeah, their mid laner is actually quite good. I think he can put up a good match into quad when the FlyQuest does play them. And I think Trimby's the kind of player that can also play on the level of Busio as well. So I actually expect that to be a more competitive series than a lot of people think.
I think the sad thing about Trimby is the only reason he isn't in the conversation for one of the best supports in the West is because he plays in the LCS South. South. It's because he doesn't play against competition. He doesn't get showcased very often because he's down in the South. Why is he not in LEC? GMs.
Yeah, literally GM diff on that one. Just petty BS.
Petty grievances and people not understanding that a player that wants to win is going to say what's on their mind and not try and sugarcoat it. So
which is weird that you'd think the LEC would be the one region where that would be fine. You have the LEC players are always going to be the more direct and forward and more blunt with stuff. You look at players like Sven, Inspired. We don't have to talk about Bopo anymore, but probably him as well. I'm hyped for these qualification matches. I don't really think it's going to be much 100 Thieves already lost to FlyQuest in a very convincing fashion, and now FlyQuest is just in this secondary tournament where I expect them to just run every team they play against, and they're probably only going to play 2 matches. So they're probably just going to beat Vivo Cade Stars in the upper final, go to the finals, and then beat whoever comes to them in the finals. I don't think that any of 100 Thieves, Pain, Red Canids, Shopify, or Vivo Cade Stars is really that much of a competition into FlyQuest. So really, when I'm looking towards Worlds, I'm like, what can FlyQuest do? And then like, who else is going to be there to like watch FlyQuest do what they do? Like, I don't really see there being any, maybe one of these South teams will surprise me, or Shopify 100 Thieves will just randomly level up. But I just personally don't see it happening.
It's gotta be BWIPOGATE Stars, to be honest, because it's the only team in my eyes that has the most complete bot lane, specifically because of Trimby. Support matchup matters so much at this level of play in comparison to AD carry. Yes, Titan I think is a better AD carry than Masu. I will die on that hill, to be honest.
You think he's better than Masu?
I do think so.
Bro, that man had as many kills as deaths in his league in the LTA South.
Yes. I think that's a product of his support not being good, by the way.
But you can't be dying that much to AD carry. That's like the one role where if you die, the game is over.
The game is over. But I think I still think historically Titan has that like next gear to turn it up, and we haven't seen that from Masu in a while. It has been almost well over a year, I think, since the Gen G series. So we can live. Has it almost been a year since the Gen G series?
Yeah, it was the World, so yeah.
So we can kind of say we're past that, and since that series, when was the last time we've seen Masu peak that high? Ever? Really? Like that's the last time we've seen him put it into this next year, and kind of that's what I'm looking for. Even if it's like at this tournament where I think FlyQuest at their floor is still the best team at this tournament. I'm looking for that again. I'm looking for utter dominance from a team that's in that position.
You have to see it from FlyQuest, or else you're worried going into Worlds.
Yeah, I want to see them pick out and play like the most bog standard meta picks possible and just look untouchable. And when I see that, when I see Masu pick up that Poke Varus and literally never miss a Q, when I see...
I don't want to see Poke Varus.
I don't want to see Poke Varus, but like if he picks that Varus, I want to see him like just absolutely dominate. When I see him pick Yunara, he can't be touched in a team fight. Literally, if anyone gets close to him, they just blow up instantly. He's going to auto-space perfectly because the enemy, whoever's diving in the enemy jungler or support's just going to fuck up somewhere. And he's going to capitalize on that so well that it's like, okay, this guy shouldn't be in this region. Like I've been saying about FlyQuest forever, where like, yes, at their peak, they shouldn't really be in NA. They should be somewhere so they can challenge. But I don't know, like each of these players individually, I can definitely see them like in the dumps. But right now, they're looking really good. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. I don't think Titan has it in him anymore. 100% I agree with that. But I've seen that high from Titan recently. So it's not like Pain Gaming is a great matchup. Wiser is going to get dog walked even by Gakkos, to be honest.
But they're playing 100 Thieves in the first round. I think
they have to play, and they have to get through 100 Thieves, and they can get through 100 Thieves. By the way, if you lose this first round, you're out.
Yeah, because they start in the lower bracket. All the teams bracket, except Fly and Vivo.
So there's and that's like the big matchup, kind of like pulling away from FlyQuest Vivo, where it's like, yeah, FlyQuest wins 100%. Into that 100 Thieves Pain matchup, you're looking at Wiser versus Dokla, and I think like this is probably the last chance for Wiser here to really show that, like, hey man, this is a guy. It's the same thing we've been echoing for the last 2 episodes, where it's like Dokla is this big test of every top laner where you can't beat him hard enough, but you gotta try, because it's not like he's gonna beat. He's the gatekeeper. He's not gonna beat you like through hands. He's not gonna hand check anyone. He's just gonna sit there. He's gonna do his job. He's gonna do it well. And so you got to kind of overcome that yourself. You got to get over the gate, and that's kind of where you pulled under the rest of the map. River Quid, they're better than Karaoke Roamer. It's really like bot lane where it's the big question. Ayla didn't look that good.
He was intentionally feeding. It looked like in a lot of the games.
He was bad. FBI was FBI. He was fine.
He's always solid.
No, he's always solid. And that's kind of where it's like it's on Titan in this case. It's on Curry to really look good, and it's on Titan.
Absolutely. But so BWIPO is suspended for a game or a series?
Series.
A series?
He's out for the first series. So
he's suspended for the whole series in the upper bracket finals of FlyQuest versus Vivo. BWIPO's out for that whole series.
BWIPO's out for the whole series.
Bro, that could go really badly for FlyQuest, maybe. I mean, I don't expect it to be that bad, but like...
I don't expect it to be that bad. Gakkos has looked serviceable, but he's very much weaker than BWIPO. So...
Yeah. Ooh,
I still think it's a done deal, though. I think the jungle diff is too... I think the jungle diff is too big, and I think the AD carry diff is too big.
Yeah, Inspired is just too good. But speaking of LEC junglers, Elyoya and MKoy also qualified for Worlds. With our boy Jojo there in the mid lane. That is... Elyoya is actually on a generational run with qualifying for Worlds. It'll be 5 Worlds appearances in a row. And I believe the only other players on that list of like 4+ to like I think 7 is the most right now with Chovy and Canyon are like Chinese and Korean players.
Does that Worlds qualification include the time where they went to play-ins and absolutely bombed out as Mad Lions?
Yep, because that's Worlds. It counts. It
counted at the time. It counted at the time.
Yeah,
okay.
it did. It did. It wasn't like the weird play-in where they weren't technically at Worlds yet, where like, it was like Golden Guardians against BDS, I think.
Nowadays, they don't even count... I don't even think they count play-ins as Worlds anymore. Like, it's
Maybe,
the Worlds tournament, but like most record keepers don't count that as Worlds or something. There's something weird about that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, it's MKoy is a laning team, specifically around Jojo. Jojo's like absolutely lit the fuck up.
Dude, he's
everyone
good.
In lane.
He is good now, man.
He's clean as lane.
He's top 2 mid in LEC. Like that for his start in LEC, like for how much hype there was. Oh, the first NA import over to Europe. Like people were thinking he was going to come in and immediately be good, and he came over and he was bad. He was actually like when he first got to LEC, he was not good.
It did take
but now he is, and we love to see it because we're obviously JoJo fans. Mad Koi is also going to be... They already beat Fnatic in that best of 5 that we touched on, where they played the really good like 1v1 comp with the Nocturne, with the Rise split push, and I forget the other split pusher. I think it was like a
That was the Fnatic series, right?
Fnatic series, Fnatic? Yeah. Yep. It was a really good series. 1 to 5 games.
Honestly, I'll watch that one tonight.
Yeah, it's a banner. And their upcoming series is against G2, who also are qualified for Worlds now, I believe. Since they're in the upper finals, they're going to be guaranteed to be one of the top teams coming out of Europe. But Fnatic and KC, 2 teams that people expected. You know, KC has Kalist, Fnatic has Upset, Razork. KC had Vladdy, who actually is playing kind of bad right now. Those teams, Fnatic and KC, are both in the lower bracket now. So 1 more loss from these teams, and their season's over. So you told me that you had kind of some thoughts on KC, kind of like what's happening with them, you know, why maybe they're not playing as good. You got a chance to watch their games, I assume, or you just like had a breakdown of it?
I watched the KC G2 game specifically because you recommended those, so I watched that series. And I also watched a breakdown to kind of like make sure I wasn't crazy from what I was seeing. And it's back to the thing that I mentioned about like FlyQuest and kind of like side mention G2, where these are the teams that FlyQuest and G2, these are the teams that have a plan after lane. They have a whole path to winning the game that isn't just, we just got to blow up the Nexus. Because it feels like there's so many teams that walk into games and that's their plan. Like quite literally.
It's like lock in champion, question mark, blow up the Nexus.
Yeah, blow up the Nexus. And it's like you can't do that, man. You have to like have some sort of plan that extends past 10, 15 minutes into the game, and G2 100% does. G2 is so receptive to map movements. They're so greedy with how much farm they get. But they're greedy with purpose. A big thing that they're really good at, again, it took some time, especially after moving away from Mickey. Mickey X was just like this unholy ball of vision for G2 constantly. And finally, with Skewmon and Labrov, my bad, G2's figured that out. And they're back to their bullshit of just catching a little wave here and a little extra wave here, and all of a sudden through doing nothing, they're 3,000 gold in the lead. And they've got this advantage, and they come to a fight with purpose. They seem to understand how to play around Otacon specifically, which for some reason, that's the separation between Western teams right now, is who can and can't play around Otacon. I feel like this is something that you hammer home in Platinum, but whatever. Don't
getting
start the
flashbacks to
objective.
the Cloud9 Otacons, man. Like I see those
Cloud9
when I
Otacons.
close my eyes.
It's crazy that it feels like there's only a couple teams that really understand how to play on the objective, but G2 is one of them, and they really do it well. They come to these objectives with plans, with advantages, with side plan, like plan Bs of we can't really contest this at this point. What are we getting across the map? They don't have to ask that question, as Otacon's 8,000 HP. They ask it 10 seconds before it spawns, or 10 seconds, 15 seconds before the fight starts, of what are we doing? It's not like, what are we doing? How are we approaching this? It's, are we taking Otacon, or are we not taking Otacon, and we've already got our plan for side lanes? It's just a yes or no. They do it, and it's so free. And like, G2's just back, man. It's not quite 2019, 2020, but they're back, man.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that's on the back of Broken Blade, who people had a lot of questions about in MSI. Yeah, Broken Brain, because he was played badly, but now he's played good again. Now he looks like the best top.
You're a huge hater.
I was a big hater because I thought, if G2 had a good top laner, they would be able to actually be a good team, because I'm obviously a huge Skewmod fan. The guy's the truth, probably the second best Western jungler. Elyoya and maybe Peak Razork have some merit in that conversation, but Skewmod is just good, and he's showing it right now, and it helps when G2 has such good coaching staff. Like, they're clearly, like you're saying, such a well-coached team. They have an idea of like what to do from different game states. If they're behind, they're still going to have ways they can try to wrench out win conditions and squeeze the game, even from deficits. That's something that I really like to see, like the old Top Esports JDG series from, I think, like 2022 or something, like where there's JDG just fighting back from these like impossible deficits, like game after game. That's something that's a good quality to have on a good team.
Now, I think the big matchup this honestly this week is this lower bracket match between Fnatic and GX.
Yes.
I feel like I can say that even though Vitality's got Knock Go and they've got Karzi, and Fleshy apparently has been looking really good.
Better than Niski.
Better than Niski. There has to be, like, there's no way KC loses this series against Vitality, right? Like, we can say that? Can we stamp that and move on, or?
I mean, so honestly, Karzi is like one of the players in LEC who's actually like one of the best AD carriers in the region, and their bot lane with him and Fleshy is actually they've been playing quite well. Who's their mid laner again? It's Sajak. Sayak. Yeah, Sayak. Yeah, Sayak. That guy actually, like, with the condition that Vladdy's in right now in the mid lane, Sayak is better. And their jungler, I believe, is Linksess. He can go toe-to-toe with Yike. Dude, I don't think Yike is good. I think, like, it's starting to be exposed now, like, the reason why G2 got rid of Yike. Like, Skewmod is just so obviously better, and, like, Yike, when KC won...
Right?
Yeah, when KC won the first split to go to first stand earlier in the winter, like, Yike was saying, oh, like, we're obviously, like, the best team, whatever. And, like, it's just been downhill from him ever since he's made that comment. Like, that guy does not look like the jungler he looked like on G2. And I think, a lot of that goes to show, like, when you're jungling for G2 or for, for a top team, like, historically FlyQuest, C9, you're going to look better. And Yike looks very shaky now. And he has a lot of these games I'm just like, I don't understand, like, what he's doing or the engages he's looking for. He's, like, looking like a little bit of the LEC blabber, which I'd officially give that title to Razork, but a lot of times I'm like, I think
been around forever, and everyone still gives him like the rookie pass, like, even though he's props. On like what, year 5?
Yeah,
year 5, year 6.
Just the hands player that can never quite get it together on the map for some reason.
You're supposed to be you're supposed to be. What year was X Smithy out of his career in 2018? Because that's something that I need to know. Because that was something that got brought up as like,
Yeah, you're
hey,
supposed
these
to
two
be a
players are at
veteran.
yeah.
Like,
If Blabber's been playing for 7 years in Tier 1, at 7 years, Xmithy was taking TL to MSI finals, and Blabber at year 7 is
not
struggling
even
to
qualifying for Worlds. Like,
qualify for
it's we
Worlds.
can't even get top 3 in the LCS. What are we doing? Like at that, like you're
What are
supposed
we
to age
doing?
like a fine wine as a jungler. You start out as the hands jungler, where you're like, I'm playing the Lee Sin, I got the Kindred or like Graves or whatever the kind of other carry pick that you want to play in the jungle. Nidalee. And then like Peanut is the perfect example of this. He used to be that guy. Now he's the pathing. Well, now he sucks actually. But within the past few years, he's been like the brain, like pathing guy. He's like really smart with the way he plays the map and like understands the early game and like is always going to try to find an advantage on enemy jungler with like information. But Blabber is just like still like slamming his head against the wall with the same type of BS that he's been doing for his entire career. He hasn't really evolved a sense of the game, like as far as strategy or being a brain player. And this is going to turn into a Blabber rant, but I think it's relevant when we talk about someone like Razork and we're talking about the LEC. And honestly, like you asked if I think KC like easily beats this Vitality team. I honestly could see Vitality beating them, and that's Kana obviously is KC's top laner. He's the best top laner in the league in LEC and probably in the West. But if you've watched enough of that Nako guy on Vit, he actually is quite good. I think he's maybe the second or third best top laner in the LEC. I think he competes with Broken Blade. As far as skill, he's obviously just on a worse team. I could see him like equalizing with Kana at least, especially if Kana's going to just bullshit and lock in Jace, like, and just just be useless with a 3,000 gold lead and just looking like you're just like made of paper and like your champion just doesn't do anything. Like it's just not a good champion in the meta. Like I don't know. I could see KC throwing some drafts away with some picks like that. And with Vladdy on bad form right now, I could see Vitality taking this series. I expect and want KC to win, but I could see it happen. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're kind of on the KC side of it as well.
It's more like I don't really have a hard side for it. I just kind of expect KC to win this. It's like
They should
win. They really should win this because you qualified in as a top 4 seed. You went to first stand. You have constantly been very vocal about
you
wanting
have the
to
most
be a top 2 in the
hyped
region.
80 carry player that's ever come to Europe, like in the past 5 years, probably
since Hansama, pretty much.
Yeah,
Hansama or like not even Noah did this, and he still looks pretty good too. So it's
he's
like,
very good.
Targamas has started to really step up. Not quite like top support in the region, but it's like okay, he's not a waste of a slot now. It's not just like French speaking bias. It's like okay, he really is a top half LEC support. Let's go. We're starting to work with something and. All of a sudden, Vladdy's starting to collapse. Yikes, really getting exposed. And Kana's a big fair weather top laner. If the team's working well around him, yeah, he's going to look phenomenal. But when the team's not working well, he's kind of just going to keep doing what he does.
But he still makes leads for him. Yeah, he makes leads for himself.
Yeah, he still makes his leads, but it's not like he really spreads that around the map. He doesn't play champions to spread around the map very often. He kind of just hopes that the team continues to work. I think like a big...
Well, a lot of that is Yike. That like Yike isn't good. Like if Kana like is behind in lane or like needs help, like Yike is horrible at like setting up or covering for his top laner. Like,
I don't think Kana. In what I've seen, the couple times Kana's been behind in lane, I haven't seen a whole lot of what I expect from top laners behind. I see like kind of continued attempts to recover themselves rather than. Kind of accept that you're behind and adjust play. It's like I need to be ahead. I don't know what to do if I'm not ahead. And it's not like a bad thing because he's ahead so often. It's okay to get away with that. That's going to struggle internationally, but I don't really expect. I'm not putting, quarterfinal, semifinal anticipation on KC. I'm just expecting qualification.
Yeah,
I'm expecting you to go I'm expecting you to go 1-3 at Swiss. That's what I've got KC at. If they don't qualify, man, like what the fuck are you doing?
It would be a monumental failure if they don't qualify.
built a stadium in Europe for? What have you completely destroyed the ability to root for any other team that isn't KC? Um, like vocally on social media, what have you um, absolutely trashed the reputation of one of the best European coaches ever in
Oh,
like
Yamato.
Europe and Yamato, the
Yeah.
Yamato canon? Like what have
Do they get
you
four
done all
seeds
this
or
for?
three? Does LC
They get
get three?
three.
Three.
They
Okay.
get three.
So
So
okay.
they've
So G2 and Matt already qualified. So it's basically just Fnatic
it's
and
Fnatic and
GX
KC.
and KC and Vitality fighting for that last spot. So
Yeah,
it's
and
wow.
they got it's like one of these three teams has to go, and I mean Fnatic same case. Fnatic's another team where I'm like, yeah, you should be going 1-3. That you should be getting qualifying and going 1-3, maybe even 2-3 at this point, just because of like the level that I expect from Upset and Razork, kind of in the clutch. And
I don't expect much from Razork anymore, man. My ship has sailed
I
on
should,
Razork. So
I
many years with
should.
him with
It's the same
Humanoid.
thing. I got one more. I got one more year on Razork just because now that Humanoid gone. If Humanoid is still here, no expectations. But like Humanoid is gone, this is your time that you need to be like supposedly the best jungler in Europe, right? We've heard this constantly, like, oh, Humanoid's holding Razork back from the Spanish-speaking fans, of course, not from the Humanoid fans. It's like he's the best jungler in Europe. It's like, okay, where is that? We got rid of the person that you said was the problem. We gave you one of the best facilitating mid laners on the market, to be honest, in Poby. Yeah, he throws his own lead all the time, but like he's kind of it. What are you gonna say, Niski over Poby?
I think the
I
Poby
don't.
ceiling, like Fnatic's ceiling, is lower now because of Poby
It
instead
is
of Humanoid.
it is lower because of Poby, but Poby enables Razork a lot better than Humanoid ever did.
I
That's
mean,
kind of how I view this team.
the peaks
In
of Razork Humanoid are higher than
are
the peaks
so much
of
higher.
Poby
Yes, yes.
Razork.
That's
Uh,
that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing like this is the time that Razork should look the best.
I mean,
This is
yeah.
this is his case for being top jungler, and we've given you essentially Korean Niski. We've given you the space to do this. We've gotten rid of the player that we spent millions upon millions of USD, not even euro, USD on. Um, like it's time. You got it. Like fucking beat GX, and I don't. I mean,
I don't
they
trust their
should,
top player.
right?
I hate Oscarinen, man. Like I wish that Fnatic would get rid of it. Even his name sucks. Like what kind of name even is Oscarinen, by the way? Like it just Oscar int. Like I'd rather just Fnatic picked up Wonder
He's
and
against
like this guy,
a
he'll just
lot.
randomly try to throw like
Way.
random carry picks just for no reason, just like all the time. And it's like you don't need to be playing like for resources on the top side or like playing carry picks and weak siding them when you have upset on your team. Like you play weak side top, you shut the fuck up and lock in Scion, and you let upset carry the game because he's the best AD carry in Europe, and he has been for years. And people, finally give him his credit now. He got MVP, I think, last split because he's just that guy. And now you have Mickey, and it's like we need to be playing around this bot lane, and they do. Like Razork is perma going bot lane to the point where it's almost telegraphed. Like teams just know that Razork is going to go bot on like different timers, and that's another thing I think worries me about Fnatic is that GX, like Kyoto, is a very good coach.
You know who?
Like it's
you
not
wanna know,
hard for them to just
fun
vibe
fact?
review Fnatic and be like, we're gonna lay traps
About,
for the jungler when he goes here every time.
about GX's like coaching and specifically support situation. You got GX. GX took the sloppy seconds of the Fnatic bot lane in the Noah and June. They grabbed both of them together.
They're good too.
Now, and they look great. They look great outside of the Fnatic system. They've got Kyoto, who's a phenomenal like teaching League of Legends coach. I don't think he's necessarily like this kind of world class, taking kind of just guiding a team to the end. I think he genuinely teaches players new stuff at this level of play, and I think that's what he's really good at. A great example of that is Spawn. Spawn does that too. But GX,
I think he's like a culture facilitator more so, like Spawn, like
Really?
more so than the in game kind of stuff because they have analysts and stuff on their staff as well.
they've got that too. But I've like Kyoto did a ton of work on Immortals when he coached as well, and that's what they brought him over to. Like they weren't a top team, but he wasn't working with a lot. He was genuinely working with a tier 2 roster, and he turned it into at least something that looked like they would at least win in tier 1 or tier 2, my bad. But the big thing, GX, the support that June replaced was Rux. GX's positional support coach is Rux, who's coaching June, the guy that replaced them. So there is double Fnatic hate in that bot lane, triple Fnatic hate, because Noah just seems to Noah's got something going on always. But that's just like a really funny storyline that's kind of happened, is GX just like full on cleaning up Fnatic's bot side. And I mean, he recently joined. He's their assistant coach too, so I imagine he's one of those analysts that you mentioned.
They're a Spanish org as well, so maybe next year it'll be Razork on GX.
GX.
Yeah,
they're labeled as UK, so
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're a Spanish organization.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of Spanish what's it called? Spanish stuff, and they're from Giants, so it's Giants XL.
I hope Fnatic beats them, because Upset's obviously my favorite AD carry in the West.
I expect Fnatic too,
but
even though their floor is
I have concerns.
Lower, even though their peak is lower without Humanoid, I expect them to win. It's one of those situations where I think Giant X is like, well, no one expected us to qualify for Worlds other than us, and so we don't have anything to lose at this point.
That's true. I think Noah and June play better with less stress like that too.
Yeah, there is no expectations on this roster from the community at all. You're gonna hear. I mean, I'm gonna say it too. Fnatic has to win the series. They have to qualify. I think both like for these players' like future's sake, Oscarinen especially, who's got tons of question marks around them. Upset mostly like community perception. I don't think anyone who actually has watched these games is going to be.
Yeah, he is the rep. He is the rep inside of the scene.
He's got the rep inside the scene, and he looks good doing it too. But like honestly, for the org of Fnatic, like I don't think they're in financial trouble at all. It's not the thing. It's just like, when was the last time they really? It's like it's 100% reputation.
It's C9. It's C9 territory. Like you can't miss this Worlds. Like or else
you cannot miss this one.
Feel like C9 feels right now.
And where's like Giant X is like, we're here.
I don't think Fnatic has missed Worlds. I think they've actually qualified to Worlds like every year. I'm pretty sure they haven't missed one.
Let me check history. I don't think they've missed either.
Because G2 missed Worlds when they had Reckless on their team. In like 2020 or 21, whatever it was.
So I don't think they've failed, but they haven't failed qualification to my knowledge either. Like they, Mad Lions has, but they really do have to just go. Let me see if I can't sort this. Minimum place, not one minimum place. Whatever. Yeah, I'm from my memory, I don't think they've also missed a Worlds qualification. So this is it's another like big situation where they do kind of need to qualify for reputation of like, hey, we're the team that goes every year, and losing out to Giant X, a combination between one of the worst teams to ever grace the LEC stage in XL, besides the one time that they were kind of okay, and a Spanish tier 2 org in Giants. Dude, that's inconceivable. Same level of C9 losing out to 100 Thieves, a team that is literally not going to exist. They are divesting almost entirely from esports. They are cleaning ship across the board right now, by the way. They're firing a ton.
They're going fully, the CEO's gambling on stream while they're firing people.
That's such a crazy thing. And he's like, I didn't realize, I've been planning this forever. And it's like, dude, then plan the layoffs at some point later instead of moving this.
We're spending that layoff money, baby. We're rolling tonight. It
was such a bad look by them, but yeah, it's a reputation thing from Fnatic, and I don't know, like that's so much pressure going to the series. And has Oscarinen and Razork ever really played well when the pressure's on? I don't think so. I don't think they've ever looked good with the lights on them. No, and this is still stuck in the goddamn LEC studio. This is such a tragedy.
It's playing these big tournaments. Is dog shit. But what's not a tragedy is the LCK. which is looking
Yeah.
very, very fun.
Looking really
Gen G, best team in the world. T1, also pretty good. Honestly, a little shaky, though, in their most recent performance. They got taken to 5 games by a complete dog shit looking Damwon Kia, which was just like pretty unacceptable. Pretty unacceptable if you're T1 getting taken to 5 games by this Damwon. It's like, yes, they have Shiwu, Lucid, and Showmaker who are good. Like Showmaker was dog walking Faker, by the way. Like Faker looks like a massive hole on the map for T1. He's the worst player in their team right now, which a lot of people are gonna hate to hear that, but it's just true.
It's just true. Which is crazy from the start of the year, where like
it is.
Doran's joining, sound the bells, like T1 era over, and like now all of a sudden they look great, and yeah, it's back to Faker being kind of the hole in the map that's really struggling at like specifically leaning fundamentals. Just because
and Damwon could have beat them. They could have beat them. Like they went to 5 games and they picked Ivern jungle, and it was looking like a really, really good pick. But then they picked you know what Damwon picked in their mid lane in game 5 when they didn't need to?
What do you get? You get to reveal it. What do they got?
Tryndamere. He picked Tryndamere mid. Like why? There was literally
inspired by the wrong thing.
Reason Showmaker just literally inspired. Like saw that Pentaco, was like, I could do that. Like
I could do that.
Literally picking Tryndamere mid into I think it was into like Victor or something, some like ranged mage, and Showmaker locks in Tryndamere.
And Barrel was Victor Trundle.
Dude, and Barrel was running it down the whole series. Honestly,
that
guy's a fraud. He is a fraud.
I don't remember who, but it is like completely came out that Barrel is just not playing. Like he is genuinely playing Genshin Impact more than.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Not even like on stream type of behavior. Like he does not. He has phoned it in. He's done. He's like, yeah, I'm a top half LCK support. It's like, no, are you?
Dude, the worst part about that is his roster. His roster is actually good. Like you have Eamon, who is a good AD carry, Showmaker, who is slumping but actually like is like playing decent, like he was bodying Faker. You have one of the best top laners in the league in Shibu. He's like a phenom rookie player, and you have Lucid, who is a really hype rookie prospect jungler, and you have your support laner just selling your entire team to play Genshin Impact. Like it actually is just so troll. It's so troll, man. It's so troll.
And burn all what little money he's earning in Korea on.
Get him a real support. Get Kyle over there. Like bring somebody in who is going to actually play the support role and play the game. Like Barrel is, Casual Dom, we're talking about that Motherhood chat, so that it's just so annoying to have this guy running down a team that's like such a historically awesome team in Damwon. Like everybody remembers that like Nogari Canyon Showmaker roster that won Worlds, and like people thought they were going to go back to back. They went to finals, I believe, the next year in Worlds.
Went to finals game 5 against EDG.
Yeah. I mean, and then finally, Viper and Scout got their dub there, which is awesome. But I mean,
they had to fight hard.
They did.
That was unironically one of the best final series played.
Yeah, completely agree.
That's peak Damwon. That's peak EDG. Slamming at it. You've still got Showmaker. You've still got fucking Barrel there, who's been at that high, and like you can really tell one of these players is like, I want to go back, I want to try and win, and you can tell the other doesn't, and like that's 100% dragging down the rest of this team, and it's a shame that because I think really Barrel still like mechanically you can see flashes of like, yeah, this guy was genuinely a really good support, and like the rest, like the other 95% of the time he's just phoning it in. He clocks in.
There's not more iconic duo than Barrel getting just completely wrecked by Keria in bot lane laning phases. Like even when they won Worlds on that DRX roster, he was getting destroyed by Keria on T1, like in the laning phase. He just is completely carried in a lot of these moments, and people still will put him in their like top like support players of all time just because he won Worlds, like when he got completely carried in a lot of these matches. And it's just kind of like Faker's getting carried right now for T1, being the worst player in their team, and just they're like get the old man in his wheelchair, like wheeling him up to the victory ramp. A little bit. It's what it looks like in these games, man. I gotta say, and like the LCK like Worlds qualifications is wide open. Like you could have any of like T1, KT, HLE, even like a team like Fear X with Diable that we talked about, Damwon even, like any of these teams could like make a run and qualify. I think Gen G already qualified, I'm pretty sure.
They not official. It's another one where it's not officially qualified, but they cannot place outside of Worlds qualification now.
Yeah, they just haven't gotten seeded yet, so they're qualified for Worlds.
Actually, can they? No, they have to win one more series.
All right, so they've qualified.
Regardless of where it is.
They're the best team in the world. They're not losing the series.
They got to play against KT.
Okay, they're definitely not losing that.
I mean, like, they're not losing it, but like another fucking year where it's like, dude, BDD is like, we're genuinely burning the career of what could be one of the greatest mid laners ever, literally up there with Chovy and Prime Faker, and we're burning it on Peter and Duckdom and Cuz on this team.
Cuz is good. Cuz is good.
He's
perfect. Duckdom and Peter are not good, but Cuz is good.
Yeah, I mean, Cuz has got the moments. Maybe he's on a tear right now, but like I'm waiting for the clock to strike midnight for Cuz, because he'll go back to it. And Duckdom, it's already gone through. He won Worlds once. Perfect had like the good freshman split last year, and then yeah, he's kind of
Did
in the
Duckdom win
right
Worlds?
Now. Yes. He was the D plus.
That was Ghost.
That was Ghost.
I thought that was Ghost and Barrel.
Oh no, which one was Duckdom on? I'm trying to remember. He did. I swear he's won something. I gotta scroll all the way down to get to this.
Was it Was it FP? Wasn't FPX? Was it?
No.
I don't know if Duckdom's ever won Worlds. I think he was just on like teams that like were winning LCK maybe, but I don't know if he's ever won Worlds.
I'm digging. No, he hasn't won Worlds. My bad.
That was Ghost. Ghost, who is now tearing it up in Tier 2 in LATAM, by the way, in LA.
No, Duckdom won 2023 with what fucking roster is that? With KT roster. He won 2023 LCK with KT roster.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. But I mean, yeah, LCK is looking kind of wide open because a lot of people thought that Hanwha Life was going to be like the clear number 2 team, like better than T1 because of the whole Zeus thing where they got Zeus and now T1 was stuck with Doran, and people are like, well, obviously this Hanwha team that was already like winning the splits last year is just going to be even better now because they have Zeus, and they just do not look good. Like Peanut looks bad, and Zeus hasn't really been able to kick it into gear as much as he once had been, and Zeka, there's a lot of question marks around him too. I think this team is just like Viper dragging these guys across the finish line when they do win games because he's one of the best, if not the best, AD carries in the entire world. But yeah, I think that's what makes LCK exciting is because like kind of like after Gen G, it's like any team could beat any other team.
Update on the Gen G. I kind of maybe forgot they won MSI. And so they technically qualify for Worlds.
Yeah.
Under the MSI banner.
Yep.
My bad.
Yeah, but I mean, we figured even if they hadn't qualified yet, they probably would qualify. They're just so good.
There was no way they're going.
But dude,
they weren't going.
The region that I think is like the most uncertain right now is the LPL. And you said you've been watching the LPL. It's like it's Top Esports is looking better, but also BLG is looking better, and they're against Top in the upper final coming up here. But then randomly, like Weibo Gaming, just like this random Weibo roster that nobody expected much from. I mean, they're good players. They have like Light and Crisp, and they can't keep getting away with this. It's like they beat anyone's legend, like the reigning champions. They just smack them up. No big deal. We got Breathe in the top lane, who's like continuously underrated top laner. Xiaohu showing him that like he's still got hands, like he has been good and is good. Tion same.
Tion Light, Crisp, like it's a crazy roster to beat AL.
Yeah, the depth in the LPL is insane. Like the LPL like 1 through like 6 are like all competitive with each other pretty much. Like you could never say that for the LCK. You can't say that for even the LCS. Like FlyQuest smacks down any team. Like the 5-6 team in LCS just loses. LEC is similar to LPL in that regard. Where like
it only goes down to 4. LCK, it's like you've got the entirety of Group Ascend are like really good. Well, minus WE, and like FPX because they kind of frauded their way up there. But like
In LPL,
the
yeah.
entirety, there's 8 teams, 9 teams that just far and away look like they not necessarily can win grand finals, but they can make deep runs here. IG
Yeah.
is still
Even
there.
even
JDG is
EDG.
still here. Yeah,
Even
EDG looks really good. They came from Nirvana, by the
yeah.
way, the
They were the
lower
one
group
seed
that's
from
supposed to
there.
never qualify. Um, so they look great. They got 3-0'd by AG, but I mean, IG, they do their thing. We gotta we gotta hope that IG somehow makes it to the end. But
Bro, their
I don't
road
know,
got
man.
so much harder with Weibo just randomly beating anyone's legend because now anyone's legend's in the lower bracket, the top base team, and that's like a really like the strength of IG this season is like they might not be the best mechanical team, but they're a really smart macro team. Well, that's what AL is also good at, and that some of their players are just mechanically better. So I'm like really worried for IG, man. Like they have to play against the winner of anyone's legends versus NIP, which is NIP is Doinby's team, which
That's
has a bunch of the
Sunday.
old it has a bunch of the old players that Rookie actually used to play with when he was over there on NIP and before that V5. And I don't expect that team to do much into anyone's legend, even though their top laner Solo Kill I think was the rookie of the split. He actually is like a very good player. He Solo Kill 369 in a Yorick versus I think Aatrox or Cassante 1v1 that was pretty flashy this past week. It was a
That's
cool moment from him.
and funny enough, that's a guy from Hong Kong.
Solo kill?
Solo kills from Hong Kong, listed at least in
Nice.
GCD.
Nice.
But I mean, he looked good. The big thing is going to be that on AL IG game,
Oh, yeah.
and like the big worry always going into international is Tez going in general. Anyone who's ever paid attention to any sort of LPL team, anytime LPL goes to internationals, they see Tez, they figure out spectacular ways to just fuck it up. And Jackie Love won MVP, right? He won MVP, right? Like he won something.
I mean, he's really freaking good right now. Like, the problem with top esports is Kanavi and Cream, who are, like, failing to connect on the level that they were in the past.
Yeah, so Jackie Love won MVP. He got first team All Pro alongside Hung and Kanavi from Top Esports. So they're like they gotta win out. I'm not gonna lie. And they're going against a BLG that no longer has Shadow because he got re-registered to being Italian for some reason.
Well, I don't know if that's why,
they can't
because
run him.
they still let him play even after that. I think it was
Yeah.
legitimately just the play. Like, that Beishuan was just playing better, and they put him back in.
Shadow
But
was directing the game, man. Beishuan isn't that, and that's
They
what
look- they
Billy
look
Billy
good.
needs.
they
I
look
mean,
good
they
still.
look good, but I mean, they're against what was their opponents again? Let's see here. JDG, realistic. IG, macro team versus Hands. I feel like Hands beats IG. Anytime you're against like a really big hand stiff, I think IG kind of crumbles in that because they just challenge everything, and that's what BLG wants. BLG always coerces teams into their just like 3v3, 4v4 skirmishes, and they're so good at that as a team that it doesn't matter that they don't really know how to macro their way around the map. They're 6,000 gold in the lead. You don't need to know how to move around the map when you've got 6,000 gold to play with. So that's kind of my concern, but top esports is like a complete package to me personally. Kanavi was a part of that JDG roster that always was in the right spot at the right time doing the right stuff, and I expect that to be somewhere instilled in him, even if he literally didn't say a word. It's somewhere in there, and 369's there. Cream back, maybe not better than ever, but back. Jackie Love better than ever, and my boy Hong, he's hung.
Yeah, he's actually very good. He's been playing like surprisingly well for I think a rookie or a year two support. I don't know how new he is to the league.
Not really.
Not new?
He's been
Okay. He's been around the
he's
block.
been in the LPL since season 9.
Oh, okay, so he's been around the block. But yeah, I mean, I think he was a breath of fresh air for the team. But it is, like you say, it's hard to have faith in this team going international, like, because every time they just somehow seem to fuck it up in some way. So I personally really want to see BLG go. Obviously, I also want to see IG go because I'm a massive rookie fan. I like Gala a lot as well. I don't like the Shy, but he hasn't been locking in Nidalee top, which is a plus. He's no longer picking that. He is picking the Jace sometimes, which is just like another separate version of Nidalee dogshit champ that I don't want to see. But, you know, he has learned to play for the team and pick like the Ornn or the Scion when it's needed. So there's some growth that's happened there with the Shy. And he's also playing super well in the Aatrox too. Like, this guy's actually just good again, which is pretty cool to see.
The scary thing always with LPL is when you look at that lower bracket, you've got AL, IG, JDG, and Weibo.
JDG's
all
trash.
Of these,
JDG's trash.
And JDG's trash, but like, and Scout's looking bad, so it's like I don't really feel bad for him. But Jun on trying to redeem, Pays trying to redeem, 100%. Like they kind of want to try and go to Worlds to get their shot again at the teams that dropped them, and I don't even know if they're gonna get like the chance. Like, I don't know if Jun's gonna even be able to play BLG. You've got to get through IG. You've got to get through AL. You've got to get through Weibo if you're JDG, like directly in when's that game? I'm trying to find it. That game's Saturday.
Well, so, Weibo's in the upper bracket.
Nope, they got.
Oh, that's down. Right. That's right. They lost. That's
Tez.
Right. Dude, that's just like, it's such a scary lower bracket. Like, I wanted IG like. IG finished like the LPL split, this past split, second seed, and I'm like, okay, it's guaranteed they're going to Worlds. Like, there's no way we're not making it.
No way.
They started the upper bracket, now they're down in the lower bracket with like Anyone's Legend, JDG, Weibo. It's like all these teams that are like, top esports or Billy are going to be down there as well that they have to get through. Whoever loses that series in the upper bracket. So it's getting pretty scary, but I think they beat these teams in the regular season. They can do it again.
That's what we love about LPL, man.
I have my IG Hopium. It's Eastern Hopium, but we still take care of that shit here. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for our regional conversations here, Halfling. We got a good little preview of what Worlds qualification is going to look like.
LCP exists, but who cares? It's going to be Gigabyte Marines and...
PSG qualified for Worlds.
PSG.
Yeah, they qualified after they started the season 08, and then they ended up qualifying for Worlds, which is pretty incredible by them. So props to them.
Chicken. I've been watching like replays of the Oysters games just because I kind of wanted to like somewhat keep up on them. But Hannah, it's hard to find the games at times at reasonable hours, and yeah, I can see it's PSG CFO. That game is a while. That game's a long way out, isn't it? That game isn't until Saturday. Okay.
That's an entire 2 days away.
That's an entire 2 days away. My bad. It's a far way in the bracket though. They've got it listed at round 4 because they're using really? Like the similar shit ass that we've got. A big thing. I think this is the first time in a while no DFM at Worlds.
I mean, hey, I'm down to not see Evie just giving a thumbs up and running it down on like Kasate.
Evie isn't on the team anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
The big player that you're missing out on is Arya, who was their like superstar mid laner they imported. That took a while to get there. These looked fine. Him and Harp were the two kind of like big imports that they brought over. Maybe a little while ago, maybe not. But they're supposed to look good. Otherwise, Gam's in a Gam, Gigabyte Marines, whatever you want to call them. They're in do or die. They got 2-0'd by PSG, like you kind of mentioned. That's Maple. Maple back out of retirement, I think, for the second time, to take down the kids. And
dude, that's so funny. He just retires, then he's like just watching the other players play, and he's like, shit, I could still be in there and be better than these motherfuckers.
It was something with the at the time PSG mid laner. He got into some controversy. I can't remember what it was. Fofo. Something happened with Fofo, and so they had to. They got PSG, and literally the same day Maple came back. So like, he's a good player. He's a really good player, and I think it's also what's funny is that PSG sponsorship is only League of Legends. So there is like a non-zero likelihood that Maple alone is the reason PSG sponsors Talent as an org, because they don't sponsor the Valorant wing. The Valorant wing, mind you, super popular over in Pacific. So Maple bigger than the entirety of Talon's Valorant roster, Go Maple.
Honestly, just the GOAT. Just solo carrying the
GOAT.
brand of his team.
And
like
they've got three rosters, three world qualification spots. So they
I like that. I like that. I hope we see CFO as well.
So we'll see
I
CFO,
love those
Gim, and
guys.
Talon, hopefully, or we could even see Team Secret, which will be a first, I think, for Secrets, just as a League of Legends org. We haven't seen them, I think, ever at a Worlds. I'm trying to remember, like out because they're not a League org. They were a Dota org and a
Yeah.
Now I think no, it's Spirit. Spirit's the CS:GO org, but they've got a CS:GO team. But the big thing is I mean, they could qualify. They've got to beat Vikings, which I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know any of these players.
That team can't be good. There's no way that team is good. Like, I just
True.
refuse to believe that
Honestly,
any team
true.
in LCP aside from like GAM, CFO, and PSG is actually good. Like, and Secret maybe,
So
but
we'll see you guys. See those teams at Worlds, which will be super fun. It's super fun. They get 3 because both CFO and GAM just absolutely phenomenal to have internationally. They're Pacific, and I feel like Pacific just has their shit down in terms of both like players, playstyles, and also branding. Like what's it, GAM CEO?
yeah, the TK Win guy, that guy's awesome. He's CEO.
awesome.
He owns like a nightclub or something as well. Like,
He's super hype. He does a ton of good content. CFO is just
Yeah, I
good
love seeing
enough to
that
where
guy.
they can kind of get away with it, and they're pretty cool on stage to see. They've got Junjia, Honkyu's the best, Doggo's kind of
Dude, and they're like flexing and popping dances on people like when they win matches, and they're just like jacked to just be like, oh,
they've got their shit down. So I want to see another team come, and hopefully they do the same shit, and maybe, just maybe, one NA org sees that and they're like, man, we gotta do something.
I mean,
we gotta not get logged by Pacific.
Maybe Falcons will buy the 100 Thieves spot, and then we'll have some money coming into the league and some investment coming back in.
We can hope, but I think that just means we got to take one less hit of the Hopium and head out.
Yeah, we'll take one last hit of the Hopium, and much like BWIPO, we will be suspending ourselves until the next episode when we come back, and we will see if BWIPO's team can make it without him in their first series.
See you around.
In the LTA cross-conference play, and we will be back to cover that and the results of that probably after the conclusion when we see all the teams qualified for Worlds, and we'll do a preview.
Hopefully some big hype around Ascension.
Yes. Hopefully. We'll see. Rage. Cheers, boys.